in May alone, he already has 12 earns run. 12 earned runs in May. And, you know, another one of their pitchers, Clayton Richard, he's 2-4 with a 4.34 ERA. And, you know, in May, he has 6 earned runs and 12 innings pitched. So they're not pitching well. And on top of that, they are also not batting well.
Right. But it kind of sucks because Manuel Margot is doing pretty good. His the past few at-bats, his last...
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit the shelter.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to the Conflict Resolution Show. This is another week. We're going to get into some real in-depth topics. And I encourage you all to call in today to give us your feedback, become a part of the conversation. Like I say every Sunday, thank you for inviting us into your dinner table. I hope that we get to a place as a community where we having these conversations with our kids at the dinner table and just really picking them apart, picking their minds apart so that they can begin to look in their own mirrors and be the change that they want to see or that they should become. So again, welcome to the Conflict Resolution Show. I'm your host, Coach White. I am your holistic personal trainer. This is a show where personal training is redefined and conflicts are resolved. So always begin with a couple quick announcements. So I will begin by saying that still have some slots available for personal training. If you guys want to be a part of the change that you want to see. And again, holistic personal training is not about just changing how you look. It's about changing your whole lifestyle because stewardship is everything. And we are responsible and accountable for being a better steward of the bodies that God gave us. So what better way to show God and to honor God and to worship God by training your physical bodies? What better way by renewing your mind with the Word of God? What better way by resolving conflicts with your neighbors? We still at a place as adults where some of us don't even know ourselves. So I always say every week this ministry was built on 2 scriptures. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. First, you got to learn how to love yourself. And then after you learn how to love yourself, then you can love your neighbors. We live in a Baltimore that I deem to be a beast, the belly of the beast. And we're lacking a lot of love in our community. So I just ask you to, if this show ministers to your heart, if it's a topic that you want to discuss, maybe not in this kind of form, but maybe you want to talk about it in conferences, seminars, speaking engagements, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. My email is darrell.crs@gmail.com. Just feel free to send me an email. And also, every week I talk about the importance of rebuilding our first community, which is in the home. Far be it from us to try to put all of these things in place. My hat goes off to the organizations who are working boots on the ground to help our youth and young adults. But it does a disservice if we go back to a home that's crippled, that's preaching messages that are contrary to the messages that we're getting outside our homes. So if you are a young adult and you can look in your own mirror and you say to yourself that, you know, my mom and my dad could have did better with me, and I don't want to pass certain things down to my kids to impact them, but I don't really know how, then I beseech you to reach out. Send me an email. I would love to mentor you free of charge. There's no cost associated. And if there's anything that I can do to help, I definitely want to do that. So use me. I always put that out every week, and I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. We have to do better. Everything starts at home, so we have to do better as parents, because it takes a village, but your first village is always in the home. So that's something that you can look in the mirror and honestly be humble enough to say, I need help, then please reach out, and I extended my email address to you. So I will say as well, we invite you to call in tonight. The number is 410-702-5657. That's 410-702-5657. So you can call in and be a part of the conversation. So I just wanted to start off with those brief announcements. And I want to always do a wrap up of the conversation we had last week. So I had a young brother on. He shared a lot about his fear as he was traveling to and from school. He talked about how easy it was to buy knives at our corner stores. At age 12, he talked about the first time he bought a knife. And in fact, if you recall last week, if you remember, he said that he watched somebody around his age buy one. And then when he watched them, he knew how accessible it was and how easy it would be for him to actually do it as well. And then he bought it as well. We had Brother Marvin on a few weeks ago to talk about if we are to really resolve the conflicts that exist, then it starts with legislation. We had, our votes are in. We got people in office, so now we have to hold our people in office accountable. They represent us. So we have to make sure that we hold them accountable to make changes to impact our community. There's no way a 12-year-old should be able to go in a corner store and buy a knife. So we got to do something about it. It's one thing to hear it, but it's a whole nother thing to be a part of the change. And we want to be a part of the change on the show. We don't want to talk about it. We want to be about what we talk about. So we had the young brother come on. He's going to come on again. I thank Brother Tony, who also came on. I hope that you guys will purchase his book. He talked about his conversations with God. I remember chapter 1 being about God, why me? He talked about how his brothers were incarcerated. Everybody got locked up around him. And we introduced the conversation about what we call the hood culture. Brother Tony was on here talking about how even the COs were a part of the hood culture. Even the police, the crooked cops were a part of the hood culture. He talked about how the police were working in his favor, were doing favors for him. So I don't want to dismiss that as a part of the conversation. If you are a part of the law and you are enabling and not doing your job and helping people to grow, then you are either part of the problem or part of the solution. And if you are part of the problem, then you are part of the hood culture. You are part of who is crippling our youth and young adults and making it easy for them to walk in that path. So that's also going to be a part of the conversation tonight. So I got some good brothers that's joining us tonight. They're going to tell their stories. And what I want you to leave away with from this conversation is that there is hope. I really believe in my heart that you can be in the hood but not of the hood. So choice is yours. It's totally up to you. It's my job as your host to bring on some people that can really tell their story and minister to the hearts of the youth and young adults. You do not have to be in gangs. Gangs is a choice. You do not have to sell drugs. Selling drugs is a choice. But there are consequences that come along with that lifestyle. So, and you have to be equipped, and you have to be ready, and you have to be receptive to deal with whatever comes along with it. But it's ultimately your choice. So, if you guys are tuning in, I ask you to share the page. We're trying to get over 200 views this week. Last week we were at 100, and we've been floating around 100 views. But the more you share the message, the more you become a part of the conversation, the more we grow. Because it's all about resolving conflict. So today, specifically, again, just like last week, we're going to be talking about intrapersonal conflict. So we're talking about conflicts that happens within the person. Conflicts that happen in your mind, that causes your behavior to be in a certain way or to be aligned a certain way. We're going to talk about people who you look up to and how they influence you. How they influence your interpersonal conflicts and your mind, your thought process. Last week we kind of talked about how the hood can rename you and give you a different name, and your behaviors will align up with the name that you're given. And I even said last week, even when you look back at the book of Genesis, everything that Adam named, he had authority over. So naming is very crucial. It's very big. There's a spiritual component behind it. Whatever you name, you have authority over. And it's to the point where everything that Adam named, it still bears the same name to this day. So you have to be cautious about whatever name the hood gives you, because whoever gave you that name has authority over you, and they expect you to walk in that name. They expect you, and we talked about last week how Brother Tony, some people didn't even know his real name. They just knew him by his nickname. So we have to be very, very cognizant of that. There's a psychological piece behind that. And if we're not careful, we can put on that mask, as Brother Tony discussed. That mask, and we can deceive ourselves into thinking that's who we really are, but that's not who God called us to be. So we are in a vicious, we could be caught up in a vicious cycle if we're not careful. Brother Tony was talking about how sometimes he cried, but he didn't allow the hood to see that emotion. He talked about how sometimes his mother or other women would tell him, you know, you're not supposed to cry. So he would put on this mask. And actually, that whole thing fed into the mask. It caused him to bear a certain image. So we have to even be careful about that as adults. And what kind of messages we convey to our children. And it's easy to say that your young man shouldn't cry. But he talked about how he cried, you know, when he got home, and how he realized how he hurt certain people. When he grew up, he got to a point where he even contemplated suicide. He talked about how that's big amongst our community. So we got to be really careful of how we feed our spirit. We feed our spirit in one of three ways, and I shared this last week, by who and what we watch, who and what we listen to, and by what we read. Those are our real spiritual food. Those are our spiritual vitamins. So if we're not careful about who and what we watch and who and what we listen to and what we read, we can be feeding our spirit on things that we really shouldn't. And I always, even when I tell my kids, all of those things affect your walk with God. Either what you watch will draw you closer to God or push you further away from Him. Even what you listen to will either draw you closer to Him or push you further away from Him. Even what you read will draw you closer to Him or push you further away from Him. But the choice is ours. You know, He didn't make robots. He gave us all free will. And it's amazing how some of our stories, we would think some of them would be so drastic. But He saved us for a reason, right? So we can bear His name and bear His testimony. So the more our youth and young adults hear about our stories, I believe they will be more prone to change. So our prayer is always that God would use our stories to minister to the hearts of people and realize that you can change right now if you chose to. But again, it's up to you. It's all your choice. So I think that the stories today that you hear are really going to be a blessing to you. And I'm already excited, and I think that we definitely going to have another part, a sequel to this. I'm going to have to bring the brothers back on. I have joining me after the 15-minute break, the time after 15-minute break, I have my brother Greg Marshburn and Sean Marshburn that's going to join us. They're going to tell their stories. They're going to talk about where they are today. And the burning question is, how did you survive the hood culture? In fact, how do you define the hood culture? We have different definitions for it, I'm sure, so we're going to pick that apart. And I'm very excited about tonight. So please call in. Again, the number is 410-702-5657. That's 410-702-5657. I think today's show is going to be a blessing to you. Please share this message. I want all youth and young adults to hear this show today. So if you're a mentor, I'm asking you to reach out to your mentees. If you're a father, reach out to your kids. If you're a mom, reach out to your kids as well. They need to be a part of this conversation today. We want to hear from them. We often sit around these tables and we talk about how the youth could benefit from this or benefit from that. We even have all the solutions, but we need to hear from the youth and young adults. We need to hear from you guys so that you can give us your take on what we're saying or what you think will be best. Because in a few more years, you guys are going to be sitting in these seats, and you guys are going to be responsible for ministering to people younger than you. You are the future of our communities. You are our future village, and we love you and we care about you. So please call in tonight and give your input. Share this message on Facebook, and if you have not liked the Conflict Resolution Show, please like the page. Or if you're not on Facebook, thank you for joining us on Be Exposed Radio, and we look forward to a really exciting show today. And again, I just want to leave you with this before we go into the break. We are amongst a dying community. Even in our workplaces, they are dominated, and no disrespect to the sisters, but our workplaces are dominated by females. And we got to get to a place where we love each other enough to be willing to minister to somebody, to mentor somebody. So I encourage you, even if you're working in corporate America or wherever you work, and mentor somebody. Bring them in and take them under your wing. And they need you, and we need you as well. So we're about to go to a break. So stay tuned. This is the Conflict Resolution Show. We'll be right back.
Exchange Radio Show every Friday 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Saturday 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com.
I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out. And
exactly.
Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature, and I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously, because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do, and I think that that's a big problem that people face now. Like, you see what somebody else is doing and you want to do that when that's not your lane.
That's not your lane.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
But it's popular, it's getting that person money, it's getting that person applause. Oh, I want applause. I want money. Let me stand over here behind them.
And then a lot of times people aren't honest with themselves either. Like, I was thinking earlier today, I've been woke for almost 2 days, so so you get honesty, and I was thinking, like, you know,
the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
We're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's Radio Loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, School zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
So I'm gonna give y'all a sign.
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
You are tuned in to BeExposedRadio.com.
So we were talking about critical thinking. So we definitely believe that critical thinking is one of the first things we need to start implementing, not just simply being told things. Or how about this? You know, we tend to listen to people who get assigned certain positions.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So when they have certain positions, we tend to think that it's truth attached to that because of their position, right?
Right.
Is that always the case, though?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It's probably one of the biggest reasons we should be doing some critical thinking.
Yes, I agree. I definitely.
You use Tearless Baby Shampoo because it's gentle on your baby's eyes. You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You always test the bath water to make sure it's not too hot. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You make sure she wears a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You put on his sunscreen, even when he's embarrassed his friends will see. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Is your child facing the right way in the car seat? Is the seat too big or too small? How do you know when it's time to move your child into the next type of seat? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. That's safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Okay. Welcome back, good people. Again, I'm your host, Coach White. Got my brothers with me. So I'm sitting here with Greg Marshburn and Sean Marshburn. I'm thankful that you guys can come out and make some time. It's all about ministering to the hearts of the youth and young adults and giving back. And I had Sean on when I was at the Urban League. Sean came up and blessed us. In fact, Darrell came up one time.
Yeah.
And blessed us with his story, brought in his papers.
Right.
Newspapers, so they could know it was real. And it's nothing like seeing it. And he shared it. And I think one of the young men got incarcerated. Brandon, he was the tall brown-skinned one. And I'm kicking myself to this day because he wrote me a letter one time. I was in the process of moving and I didn't get to respond to him, and I've been kicking myself over years. One young man, we're still connected and he's doing really good. And then one young lady who was there, she's still doing really good. In fact, she asked me to be the godfather of her kid.
That's a blessing.
And that was really a blessing. But I'm glad you guys are on tonight. And as you know, we're going to be dealing with intrapersonal conflicts. How did you survive in the hood culture? So my first question is going to be, define hood culture for me. How do you define it?
When I look at the hood culture now, as retrospective as far as where I am today,
okay.
When I look back now, it looks like it's crabs in a bucket.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because even at that age, when you want to make the right decisions, you always have the negativity pulling you back down.
Okay.
You always have somebody trying to tell you what you're doing is wrong, even if it's in a positive manner.
Yeah.
You know, because I remember, I can laugh at it now, but I had a job, and I was trying to go to school, go to work.
Okay.
My cousin would literally sit on the bus stop with me, wait till the bus came, and start fighting me while the bus was right there.
Get out of here.
Where I would actually miss the bus to go to work, and he thought it was funny the entire time. But as long as I missed the bus, couldn't go to work, I could stay there and hang out with him. And guess what? We wasn't doing nothing. Wow. We was doing stuff we ain't had no business doing.
Wow.
But after a while, it's like I had to start maneuvering differently. Go to another bus stop to try to at least get to work.
Yeah.
But it was those things because at that time, it was, this is all we know. This is what we supposed to do. Why are you going to work? We can make money other ways.
Wow.
Long as you here with me, we good.
Yeah.
So it was, when I look back now, it was us holding us back. Yeah. Because nobody really wanted to step up and say what we was doing wasn't right. Let's do something different. And then when it was one person trying to do it, he was the minority.
Yeah. So what do you think his motive was behind basically not allowing you to go to work to hang out with him? What do you think that was about?
He didn't want to be left alone. He trusted me to break law and do things with him where he knew other people wouldn't tell on him.
Okay.
He knew I was going to be there no matter what, far as loyalty. So he didn't really trust anybody outside of me.
Okay.
Because it was us every day.
Okay. Okay. So I assume you end up losing your job.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. End up losing your job. So where do you go from here? So now you're at a place where you're trying to do the right thing. You're trying to go to work, but you have a cousin who is reeling you back in. And now you lost your job. So what's next?
You go back to what you know.
Okay.
That's, you know, whether it was at that time, whether it was selling weed or, you know, drugs or whatever. Because now we like to look good.
Okay.
How I'm going to do that? I don't have no job no more.
Yeah. So you go back to what you know. So let's use that as a segue to tell your story.
In that regard, my story started at an early age because I used to watch my brother all the time.
Okay.
And all I ever seen from my brother at that time was loyalty and aggressiveness.
Okay.
From him, he taught me what I was supposed to be out there because that's what he was taught.
Okay.
See, I always had, to me, it was a struggle with me because I was in two worlds. One, I was an honor roll student. Okay. Loved school. He'd tell you I cried if I couldn't go to school because I wanted to let people know I was smart.
Okay.
So by doing that, I went to school, got straight A's. I ain't had no problems.
Okay.
But at the same time, I wanted to be on an honor roll in his world too.
Okay.
I wanted him to respect me.
So we going to go to a break in 15 seconds. When we get back, I want you to tell me, because it's clear to me that you looked up to your brother.
Yes.
But I want you to tell me where your dad was in the picture, if in fact he was.
Okay.
All right. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
My name is Ruth Rusey. I'm a retired teacher. I'm 91 years old, and this is how I live united. I say retired, but not really. Once a week, I read books to children as part of United Way's education program. Reading to a child creates links between language and literacy. It creates a bond between grown-up and child. And believe it or not, it prepares them for a better academic future. Oh, we read about frogs and flies and pigs with wings, all sorts of juicy stuff. It's a joy to watch all those little faces. I figure I have the time and they have the need. And I've always believed that if we're not here to help each other, then what are we here for really? My name is Ruth Rusey. I help kids prepare to succeed in school. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
My name is Meera Batra. I have been in this country 32 years, and this is how I live united. America has always been the land of promise, and in my community many families have come for a better life. Coming from another culture myself, I know the desire to become part of a community, to feel at home and to gain the tools for our children and families to succeed. So I advocate for these families with United Way. United Way empowers them to look beyond their histories and to see what opportunities are available. We help them get involved with their kids' schools, network within the community, and when we do, we unite them. We make the community stronger. What I do is something I wish someone had done for me, and I am so grateful I am able to. My name is Meera Batra. I help families see opportunities and succeed. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back, good people. We're going to pick right back up where we left off. So my brother Sean, I asked him a question about, he said that Greg, his older brother, and they're 17 months apart, was like his father figure, even though his father was still alive and is still alive. Thank God for that. Greg was like a father figure for him. So tell me about your relationship with Pops and things of that nature, because a lot of our youth and young adults, father's not even in the picture right now. Right. So tell us a little bit about that.
I'll tell you this. Pops was always around. But Pops was at that time like we was caught up in ourselves.
Okay.
He was running around, he was doing, but he was always there. But it was, for me at that time, it wasn't enough for me. So Greg could tell you, I got angry with him, not understanding adult things at that time.
Okay.
I'm just looking at it from a kid's point of view and what I want and what I think should be happening, and it wasn't. Yeah. So I got angry with him. So I really stayed away from him. My mother, for a minute, kept me away from him because she knew how I felt. Okay. So at that time, who became my father was my brother.
Okay.
So I looked up to him, wanted to impress him, wanted to make sure I fit into his world.
Yeah.
And at the same time, now that I look at it in retrospect, he used to always leave me certain places. You can't go with me. I'm mad. I really want to be with him.
Yeah.
I get it today because he ain't want to expose me to it.
Yeah.
But as I tell a youth today, they fail to realize whether he took me with him or not. As kids, we watched. I saw everything he did and tried to emulate it in every way, shape, or form, except for the difference between me and him is I'm the one that's going to sit back. I'm calculated. I'm quiet. I'm going to watch. I'm going to listen. I'm going to learn.
Yeah.
And I'm going to move a different way. But I learned everything from him. My father taught me a lot of things, but as an adult now, I get it. I really wasn't trying to listen to that then because he wasn't where I needed him to be.
Gotcha.
And I knew he couldn't be there because at the time I was a kid. I didn't understand it. So looking to him, looking to Greg, it was a whole new world.
So Greg filled the void of
Absolutely.
Your dad. Okay. And you said when you was angry with your pop, so you avoided him?
Absolutely.
And what did your anger look like in the hood culture? How did it translate?
I was willing to take it out on anything and anybody and didn't care.
Okay. But as a youth, we probably didn't know. We couldn't decipher, I'm doing this because I'm angry because I have a man that I still see from time to time.
Right.
That's not really there. And now I got to look at my older brother, which is not a problem for us, but it's not the design.
Right.
Yeah. So take me from your cousin is not allowing you to go to work. You lose your job, and you said you go back to what you know. So what did you know, or what did you learn?
From looking at my brother and my older cousin now, selling drugs.
Okay.
So me and my cousin at that time, the one that used to fight me to get on the bus, we found our own way.
Okay.
We found ways to, who had the drugs, how to get them. We basically taught ourselves how to hustle.
Okay. And Greg, did you know that he was selling drugs when he started?
I was in prison.
Okay. Okay. So give me an age, since we talking about the youth and young adult. Of what age did you start selling drugs?
Between 15 and 16. When Greg went to prison, like I said, I was working, right? And people don't understand. I wanted to be accepted by my brother so much. He would call home and be like, look, I need you to take care of this. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. All right, cool. But I never told him, I ain't got no job no more.
Yeah, yeah.
How am I get this done?
Yeah.
So when I realized that, I can't let him down. So I did what we did.
Okay.
And I made sacrifices to make sure he was straight.
Okay.
I ain't go to my father. I ain't go to my mother. Me and my cousin found a way.
Okay.
Because I needed to make sure he was straight.
Okay.
He made sure I was straight all my life.
So it's your turn.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the family dynamic in the home, right? Because we always talk about our first community. Well, I always say on this show, your first community is your home. So now, we have Sean, we have Greg, and we have Mom.
Yeah.
So now Greg is gone. So does Sean become the man of the house?
Absolutely.
So what kind of pressure does that put on you to fill Greg's shoes of being the man in the house?
What I was told a long time ago, and it came from my father, whatever you do outside in them streets, you never let it come home.
Okay.
That's my queen. If anything ever touch her, it's going to be a problem. And he said it as if, and Greg can tell you, he said it as if we wasn't even his kids when he came to that lady. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She was first and foremost. So you got to understand, by me knowing she come first, and then seeing how he reacts when certain things happen.
Yeah.
Oh, it was instinct. It didn't matter. I ain't have a choice. It was there. So when he gone and something happened, or I thought something was wrong with her in any way, shape, or form, I was willing to do whatever.
So at this point, does Mom know that you have lost your job?
No.
Okay. So Mom think you still working?
Yeah.
But you hustling?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. At any point in time, is she suspicious, saying, how do you get this or how you get that?
You know what's funny? Me and my cousin Darrell talked about this the other day. We got played, right?
Yeah.
Because we go to Charlie Rudo's and we go hard.
Okay.
I got like 12 bags of clothes. He got 12 bags. So we come down the hill and say, where we going to take these? He say, I don't know. I said, you know what? Moms don't go in my room that much.
Okay.
Give me everything. So she in there sleep. We go in there, hide the clothes, go back outside. My aunt come over there and say, Sean, come here for a minute. So I'm like, yeah, what's up, Aunt Barbara? She like, let me in the door. I get to the door, she say, and Darrell, you come here too. We walked in the door, all our clothes, shoes, everything on the couch.
Laid out.
They say, where you get that from? Straight lie. Or our cousin Peepa, he bought all this. They like, nah, where all this stuff come from?
Yeah.
So now it's, she don't really know, but she know we doing something we ain't got no business doing. Because that was a lot of money that was spent in those stores.
Yeah.
And at the same time, he needed packages in jail.
Yeah.
I made sure that happened. I couldn't give him no excuse.
Okay. So at this point, you got everything laid out, right? And they asking you, I'm assuming they asking you, like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So at this point, are you real with them and say, look, I'm out there?
No.
Okay.
You better not have just, who was going to live in that house? That wasn't happening. See, you got to understand, my mother was a stickler.
Okay.
My mother always put God first and always put it in our head. This is what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
I heard her, but I didn't hear.
Okay.
I heard him. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
I watched him. Now, I knew she got up and went to work every day, took good care of us, did what she had to do. And you got to understand, he even told me, look, let mommy go ahead and buy you this. I'm going to take care of me. Don't worry about me. So once again, he's sacrificing to go out there and do what he going to do to make sure he fresh. But she don't have that burden on her from both of us.
Yeah.
Just let her do it.
Yeah.
So now when he gone, I can't put that burden on her.
Yeah, I hear you. So at this point, you're locked up for how long and for what?
5 years for robbery.
Okay.
I robbed Silver Steakhouse for $7,969.69.
Wow.
17 years old.
17 years old. Is the first time in?
Yeah.
Okay. So at this point, you're doing 5 years, 17 for a robbery. So tell me about, and again, I'm asking questions representing the youth and young adult and our viewers. Why did you rob the store? Why did you feel a need to rob the store?
My mother was a single parent, taking care of both of us. And as he just said, that my mother, when it came time to buy the clothes, she couldn't get me the nice tennis shoes, the Nikes, and get him the Nikes.
Okay.
So both of us had to get the same cheap thing. So I was like, nah, man, go ahead and buy Sean's. I'm gonna get my own stuff. Cause see, if somebody would have joked my brother about what he had on, or joke me, it would have been on. We'd been fighting.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to say to Burton, I want him to look nice and I want to look nice. So I knew how I was gonna get mine.
Yeah.
I just needed her to be able to take care of him.
Okay. So at this point in your life, at 17, you're looking up to Greg. Who are you looking up to?
My fault. But let me say something. First of all, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for being here.
Yes, sir.
And second, I want to give a shout out to my father, my namesake.
Yeah.
I hope you. If you listen, Dad, I love you, man. I wouldn't trade you for nothing in the world.
Wow.
Like, I don't care what happened between us, what you didn't do, what you ain't know to do. I wouldn't trade you for nothing in the world. I know my mother wouldn't do nothing different.
Wow.
Because there's some things that he instilled in us that I'm able to move in different worlds in different ways.
Yeah.
And he the reason why I never joined the gang, right? Because I couldn't. He was gonna ask me, why you do that?
Yeah.
And I couldn't think of one good reason to tell him. So every move I made out there, I worried about what he was gonna say. So even though he wasn't there physically, his presence was strong.
Yeah.
Even to the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even to the day.
Wow. Wow. So, and that's powerful. So you looked up to your dad. So tell me about, tell me and the viewers about your dad.
He was a man's man, man. His father wasn't around. So all the lessons he learned, he scraped together out there in the street. And he told them to me.
Okay. And you said dad is from Murphy Home.
Yeah, he was away from Gilmore Homes.
Gilmore Homes. And mom was from Santan. Okay. So at some point, they get together, and at any point, are you guys all in the same place?
Yeah.
Okay. So when y'all were in the same place, where did y'all live?
Cherry Hill.
Cherry Hill.
And Utah. He was around Utah.
And Utah. Okay. And about how old were you around this time? When
4, 5, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Y'all have any sisters?
You 2 of them.
Okay. Older, younger?
Younger.
Okay. I never knew y'all had sisters. All right. So all of y'all in the same house around that time?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're watching Dad, and what is he teaching you as a young man?
He was a dictator. He was do as I say, don't do as you see me.
Okay.
Like it wasn't nothing you can't, and it wasn't, the word couldn't come out of our mouth.
Okay.
Right.
Not thinking.
He taught us manners, adults. You'll never call a adult a liar. You give your seat to a woman or elderly. You keep the woman on the inside of the curb. You open doors for women. You do that. He taught us how to be gentlemen.
Okay.
He taught us you shake a man's hand firmly. That's a sign of respect.
Okay. Okay.
And he taught us if you get in something, you find out who the lead is. If there's more than one, you find out who the leader is and you get with him. Because the rest of them ain't going to want no trouble after you deal with the leader.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me say this, D. He gave us something. Me and Greg talk about this all the time. He gave us something you can't give to too many people. Because like he said, you can put us in any fishbowl in America.
Yeah.
We're going to be all right. Why? Because he taught us how to stand up, look a man in his eye. Understand when you walk in the room, understand who's who.
Yeah.
He gave it, and see, that's why I said at the young age I was angry, because I didn't even understand the lessons.
Yeah.
They was over my head.
Yeah.
But the older I got, that's why the relationship we got now, everything runs through him.
That's powerful.
Whether it's a business decision, whatever.
Yeah.
We run it through him because now we understand the lessons. And that's what I tell these youth today, is lessons being taught.
Yeah.
but they don't really understand them just yet.
Yeah. And as I hear you all talk about hearing different voices, you heard his voice at a certain time, you heard your pop's voice, and the youth are hearing a different voice. I don't know what voice they're hearing. Only they can. Go ahead.
I was 37 years old, hiding from my father, because if he'd have been like, "Boy, come here," I'd have put my head down and went over there like I was a little boy.
Wow.
That's how much influence he had on me, even at that age.
Wow.
Whether he knew that or not, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I did.
Yeah, that's powerful. Yeah, and as I was mentioning, the youth hear a voice. Unfortunately, it may not be their father's voice, you know.
But the youth is here, man. You asked that question about the hood culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about the hood culture of the day. The hood culture of the day is like, it's a lottery, right? And what I mean when I say lottery, it's two things gonna come out of this lottery, right?
Mm-hmm.
And neither one of them do you win. Right? It's death and prison.
Yes.
That's what's coming out of this culture today. Right? And it's sad, and the voices that these youth are hearing today are a bunch of misguided individuals.
Yeah.
See, because somebody taught them something that somebody taught them, and they don't know no better. See, I remember a guy taking me saying, "I like Shorty." Right?
Yeah.
He gonna be thorough when he grow up. I'm gonna take him and teach him what he need to know to run this hood.
Yeah.
Not to run a business, not to get a job, but to run this hood. So now in turn, I take 4, 5, 6 people and do the same thing to them once I see it in them. And vice versa, and so forth and so on.
Yeah.
So now that's why I always say I'm out here today trying to help clean up what I messed up. Because directly and indirectly, I'm the reason why some of these youth are the way they are.
Yeah.
So this is why you can't ignore what's going on. I can keep talking about them, but that will make me a hypocrite because I was part of the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it takes humility to even admit that. So I thank God for your humility, because pride speaks differently. Pride, and speak. We got 1 minute before we go to a break. But speaking of pride, I think about there was a time when people would say, and I wrote this down. It's something that Sean mentioned that you said, "You can't go with me." Now they listen to the voices saying, "Come on," right? We got the older ones bringing in the younger ones at elementary school and getting them started. But when we get back, I want you to speak to the 17-year-old young man that's now in prison for robbing the store, and tell me what kind of voices you're hearing when you're in the cell. All right. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
You are now listening to Just a Bit Outside, a sports radio show at BeExposedRadio.com. Come join us every Monday night from 8 to 10 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, or at BeExposedRadio.com.
So we had a lot of things going on.
Mother's Day, Major League Baseball, pink bats, pink outfits.
Yeah. They certainly did the mothers good. They don't show them justice. Like Jimmy said, the pink bats, cleats, all types of pink highlights in the major leagues. The Orioles were swept by the Kansas City Royals.
Wah, wah.
The Kansas City Royals. Thank you, Eric. Kansas City Royals is they're like one of the worst teams in the major leagues
Baseball
right now. Yeah, so that was a little tough.
Yeah, so the Orioles no longer have the top record. It belongs to the Washington Nationals now.
Yeah, so that was tough. So hopefully they'll get back on track with the next series. Maryland, we got some local sports, collegiate to report. The Maryland lacrosse. Let's shout out the Maryland lacrosse team. They are in the NCAA tournament, and Hey,
this is Mark, Just a Bit Outside on BeExposedRadio.com. Listen to us every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on Facebook and on YouTube.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You want to start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, do it.
The Orioles.
Right, right.
They got swept by the Royals. They lost 4 in a row, and the last 5 games have all been decided by 1 run. The game before, or the last game that they lost before the Royals was the Nationals, and it was Weeders, of course, won with a home run.
Hit the home run.
Right. They were going into that National series. It seemed like they were doing so well, and they just crapped out. They got that game postponed, so who knows when they're going to replay that or play that game. That's my first not for the night.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and weigh in on my who's not, and I'm going to talk about the San Diego Padres.
The Padres. That's okay. You just took my answer.
They're in last place in the NL West. They've lost 8 of their last 10. Their run differential is a negative 65, which is just horrible. So when you have well, let me just talk about run differential a little bit. It's kind of like the
how much you're winning or losing your games by, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. It's like the margin of victory, kind of.
Right.
So when you're in a negative number, that means that then
your average game you're losing
by a whole lot.
Right.
I mean, a number like negative 65, this early in the season is pretty rough.
That's horrible.
Then the pitching numbers pretty much support this stat right here. I mean, the team ERA is 4.70, which is 26th in the league. They have 126 walks allowed. They acquired Jared Weaver in the offseason, and he really has not panned out. He's off to one of the worst starts in any of the pitchers in 2017. He's 0-4 with a 6.05 ERA. In May alone, he already has 12 earned runs in May. And, another one of their pitchers, Clayton Richard, he's 2-4 with a 4.34 ERA. And, in May, he has 6 earned runs and 12 innings pitched. So they're not pitching well. And on top of that, they are also not batting well.
Right. But it kind of sucks because Manuel Margot is doing pretty good. His the past few at bats, his last.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
We're going to pick right up where we left off. So we were talking to Brother Greg. So talk to me about 2 questions that I asked. The first one is, take me to the point where you got the gun at 17, or whenever you got the gun, to the point where you made a decision to rob this store, to the first voice that you heard when you were locked up.
So you asked me also why I picked that particular store. I had some homeboys. They really picked the store.
Okay.
They came and got me. I was taking the trash out, and on the moment, they said, "Man, we need you to go with us. You want to go with us?" I'm like, "Yeah, let me get my gun."
Okay, so let me put you on pause real quick. We have a caller calling in. Thank you for calling the Conflict Resolution Show. Who's calling us this evening?
This is Tony.
Hey, Brother Tony, what's going on, sir?
Hey, brother, how you doing, brother? How you doing?
Good. Now, can y'all hear Brother Tony?
No.
Okay. If you can't, Brother Andre, can you turn the speaker up a little bit? All right, what you got, Brother Tone?
Well, I wanted to ask the brothers, why do they feel like the schools are afraid to have felons working in the school system with the young men?
So the question is, why do you think that the school systems are not allowing felons to work with the young men, in your opinion?
You know what? I can grasp at straws all day with that question, right?
Yeah.
But what I don't know for sure. But what I can say is that the fellas can reach them better than anybody, because one of the things about our youth is that if you haven't been where they've been, then you can't tell them nothing about what they're going through.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to be able to get on their level and show that you changed to bring them up to your level where you at now.
Yeah.
So felons would be the ideal people. I had been in a situation, I got out a little early. I was in a situation where we was about to go into the schools and work in the schools, but it sounded a little fishy to me, so I backed out. And the rest of the guys went through the whole thing, and when they went to do their background checks, they told them they couldn't work in the schools. But this was something that should have been known up front. Up front. They took them people through all that, but I backed out because it ain't sound right. And but they should be the ones in them schools. See, the thing is, I don't even want to say a felon. Well, I want to say an ex-felon. Okay. Right? Some people might not be proud of that, but if I'm an ex-felon, that means I'm no longer a felon. I'm not doing the things I used to do. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And it's not, prison and stuff like that, it's not about rehabilitation, no more, it's about warehouse. It used to be you can get a house, you can do all this. People got upset because of the tax dollars they was using for people to better themselves. So what is that telling you? That's telling you that you don't want me to better myself. You want me to come back out here on the same stuff, do the same stuff, and make the recidivism rate high.
Yeah, yeah. Brother Tony, is that answer the question for you?
Yeah, I totally agree that they would be a better fit than a lot of the other people that they bring in. So I appreciate the answer. Thank you, brother. Keep doing what you think, brother.
Thank you, man. Thanks for calling in. And don't be a stranger, good brother.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Yes, sir.
All right.
So, yeah, it was Brother Tony who was with us last week and was talking about the book. So, and it's a good question to pose. And again, I remember, like I said, when Sean came in, his story was so compelling to the youth and young adults that were listening. Like, you couldn't hear a pin drop. Their mouths are wide open. And I believe that if somebody else came to minister to them at that particular time, they wouldn't have been able to meet them where they are. So that's a good point. Thank you for the question, Brother Tony. I want to turn back to the story that you were mentioning about why you chose that particular store. You said your buddies.
Some friends of mine chose that store, and they needed a man that they could trust to go. So I was added on to it on the spur of the moment. I was taking my trash out. Never forget it, April 12, 1987. They pulled up on me, was like, boy, you want to go? We need another man we can trust. I'm like, hold on, let me get my gun. I go in the house, I get my gun, I come back. We go rob the spot, we got away with it. Got caught. What was that? I got locked up May 18th, 87. Caught 5 years.
Wow. So the gun was in the house.
Yeah, my gun was in the house.
And tell me about how you got the gun.
This is how we used to get guns back in the day, man. Most parents
30 seconds? I'm sorry, we go to break in about 30 seconds. And I don't even want you to, I want you to save it because this is going to be good. Because I got to hear this because guns are so easy to get their hands on right now with the youth and young adults. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're going to talk about how Brother Greg got his first gun at 17.
No, I got my first gun at 11.
At 11. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
You ain't asked me that.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
So, Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom?
I wanted to talk to you about something and... Oh, wait. Hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow. Busy me. So, anyway...
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. So many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey, guys, check out my new video game. Pew, pew. Wait, Mom, what? Huh?
What? Hold
What'd you say? Wait a second, what?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Join the club that gives you stuff.
Hey, thanks!
Radio Loyalty.
Here's how it works.
Just click on the Radio Loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then, you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for stuff in the Radio Loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple, right?
Radio Loyalty.
Click that banner to join now.
Here's what you missed on Salacious Life Radio.
You know, when it comes to your children, especially if you're dating someone that you actually like,
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Good people, we're going to pick up where we left off. Brother Greg is telling us about the gun that he had during the robbery. But during the break, we were talking about the fact that he had guns as early as age 11.
Yeah. I got my first gun when I was 11. A friend of mine, grandmother had a 9-shot 22. So I was a bully. He brings it outside, he's showing it off. I takes it. Tell him let me hold it, but I never gave it back. So now we got me and my homeboys, whoever was messing with a girlfriend, he'd be in the room with the girl, or I'd be in the room with the girl, and the other would be searching the house. But we looking for guns. So that's how we used to get our guns at first. And then if we didn't mess with them, we were breaking houses and get guns. But the guns that we had from the I had when I got locked up, that was one of the guns I had. Well, I used to somebody act like they was selling a gun, wanted to show off like they was tough. I'm like, I'm gonna buy that. Let me here the money right here. Let me see it. And let me see it. I say, look, it worked like this. You just got beat, and I take it.
Take it.
But so that's how I had to go for the robbery. But then during the course of that, my rap buddies for the robbery had already robbed the gun store. So we would trade guns. So we had a bunch of guns.
Wow. Okay. So I'm just putting the timeline together. So at this point, you got your artillery, because you didn't have a gun, you had an arsenal. And you mentioned that you wanted to make sure Sean was fresh and you was fresh. Yeah. But you told your mom, go ahead and take care of Sean, I'll take care of myself. And in your mind, you knew you was gonna rob the store. So with the money, you can go ahead and get what y'all want to make sure y'all straight.
I've been told my mother that when I was 15. And so I was already doing stuff for that.
Okay.
Like selling drugs, whatever I could do. I was a jack of a few trades. Like selling drugs wasn't my thing. That really wasn't who I was. I ain't had patience for that. Okay. I used to say my slogan was I used to watch niggas make it so I could take it. Like I ain't had patience for that. It was quicker. Yeah. If I could just watch you make it and I'll take it from you. So that was my thing, and that's what led to me being shot several times.
So you mentioned that you got the guns from your house, in your room, I'm assuming. So mom never really went to the room and checked the room.
No, because you gotta understand that you're not. See, a lot of people, this be people's problem, right? They don't know their children outside the house.
Yes.
See, I ain't had to be that guy I was in the street. When I came to the door, I checked that person. I was my mother's son when I came in there. So she had no reason. See, because we had respect.
Yeah.
We knew how to separate the street from the home. So if we came in the home, the jewelry would come off, put it in my pocket. I wasn't going to lie. Because my mother was going to have questions about that. The clothes, she had questions about that.
Yeah.
She called my father to come take it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where you got it from, come get it.
Wow.
So my mother ain't go for that. It's a difference today. See, people not only go for that, they accept the money for bills, they accept the money for whatever. They let the kid park the car out front of the house, and they don't know how they got, or they know how they got, they know it wasn't right.
Yeah.
So it's a difference between the mothers back then and the mothers today, and the culture.
Man, you are talking about something right now. I just talked to a buddy of mine who said that it's to a point now where in some facilities, and I found this to be so outlandish and extreme, the mothers are kissing the sons in the mouth.
Passing the
Pass them drugs. I wouldn't doubt that at all.
Wow.
It's a means to an end.
It's a means to an end.
So you asked me a question about what voice that I hear in that cell, right?
Please talk to me about that.
Man, I ain't hear no voice. I was a hardened criminal. Listen, man, I had been trying to get the jail trainer school since I was a little kid because I could fight. And I had beat a few dudes up on the street, and these same dudes I beat up was in training school running it, and I heard about it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go out there because, see, I was insecure, unbeknownst to myself. So in order to prove myself, I had to beat people up.
Gotcha.
So people would respect me because I ain't like myself. So if I ain't like me, I figured you wasn't going to like me either. And so I need to make myself into somebody's people that people are like.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go out there and beat them guys up because I figured if you could fight and I could beat you, that made me better. That made me stronger. So I never made it to training school. I went straight to the big leagues and went straight to prison. So when I'm in a cell, I'm in there, like, I didn't even really have to go to prison. My lawyer, he didn't tell me this. I had a small man complex. He didn't tell me this. He get me a reverse waiver trying to get me back in the juvenile system. He told the judge, he said, man, he only weigh 125 pounds. He's only 5'2". We fear that he'll be taking advantage. I said, oh, I ain't tell you say that. Who told you say the judge looking like? The judge say, no, look like he can handle himself to me. I'm going to leave him in the adult system. So I got myself sent to prison by just with my little man complex. Yeah. So now when I got there, like when I went to prison, they were still raping guys. Right? So now I'm on point.
Yeah.
Dude say, what's up? I say, what you mean, what's up? Damn, shorty, I was just speaking. Oh.
Yeah.
So I was being aggressive.
Yeah.
Right? So I ain't hear no voice. I was too hard for that.
Yeah.
I was too hard for that because the thing, I had been shot one time when I was 15, 3 times when I was 16, 1 time when I was 23, and 9 times when I was 25. So you couldn't tell me that I wasn't strong because I kept making it through these things.
Yeah.
And they had nothing to do with God for me at that time. It was my mother knew it was God because she was praying for me and she kept me covered with the blood of Jesus. Wow. But I knew nothing about that in the world that I was in. But everything she was instilling in me came to fruition once I got my thinking together, because thinking is everything.
Yeah, it is. So at this time, you're home, right?
Hey, well, hold on. What time? Where is he?
17. He's locked up at 17.
I'm home for the moment.
You're home for the moment. So, but he is like your father figure. He filled the void. So where do you go from here?
I remember telling him, see, you got to think about it like this. By him being my father figure, he would never let me fight. If a dude breathed on me wrong, he would knock him out.
Yeah.
So when he left, now you got to deal with that.
Yeah.
Dudes was like, oh, your brother ain't here now. You ain't built like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, whatever. I kept ignoring it. And see, he know dates better than I do. All I know is I sat down and I wrote him. I said, look at here, big bro.
Yeah.
By the time you get this letter, I'm going to be off the chain. So by the time he got the letter, I'd have put a sawed off in somebody's face. I was pulling guns out. I was going hard.
Yeah.
Because now, y'all think I'm soft. I was chilling. I wasn't the wild one like my brother was. He would just pop off.
Yeah.
I was the one laid back. My mother, we laugh at it today, because my mother always say, Sean, whatever you do, be discreet. I took that seriously.
Okay.
So I was the one that would move in the dark on you. She said, no, you sneaky. I'm like, yo, you said be discreet.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I had something to prove then.
Yes.
Because big bruh, his name was Jumping. Dudes felt as though he was the mastermind. Cool. But y'all forgot I lived with this dude. He used to terrorize me.
Yeah.
I ain't think it was nothing in the street a dude could do to me that he ain't do to me in the house.
Yeah.
And see, I never knew my strength. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He would never tell me how strong I was.
Yeah.
But when I got in that street, dudes felt it. And he wrote me and was like, what are you doing out there?
Yeah.
I'm doing what you taught me.
Yeah. Yeah. So at this point, saw it all some people's faces.
Yeah.
And tell me about the first time, because we were talking about voices and hearing voices, and you said the first time you heard, well, when you heard your mother's voice was in the cell.
Yeah. The way I heard that was, it was the night that all this happened that got me locked up. The fellas come up there and say, let's go to this party. And I'm like, why we going down there? They don't like us. We don't like them. They was like, man, forget them. So I go straight in the house and get 2 guns. I go in the bathroom. I'm loading up because I'm going to get one of my homeboy. I'm going to keep one. Right? So when I come out the bathroom, my mother knocked on the bathroom door. When I come out the bathroom, I'm trying to hurry up and get out the door because I don't want her to hug me. I don't want her to touch me. My mother looked at me and said, it's something about you I don't like. I don't like your spirit. I don't like your attitude. And she said, don't go out here and get yourself in no trouble.
How old are you then?
At that time, I'm 17.
Okay. And you're still inside. Okay, go ahead.
So I'm like, Mom, I'm good. Hurry up, ran up out the door. Realized I had the bullets behind the toilet. I gave both guns to my cousin and them. Ran back in to grab the bullet. She stopped me again.
Second time.
About 40 minutes later, yeah, it all blew up.
You had a murder attempt.
Wow. I had a murder, 3 attempts, handgun violation, and 6 assaults.
Wow. And you can hear your mother vividly saying what exactly?
Don't go out here and get yourself in no trouble with something about you I don't like. It was, and I ain't, you know, as kids, we think our parents don't know who we are, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, Mom, I'm good. And at the time, I chalked it up to women's intuition, right?
Yeah.
But as my life went on and I started praying and getting to know the God, that was the spirit talking to her.
Yeah.
Because how would you know? I got 2 guns on me.
Yeah.
How would you know what we about to go out here and do?
Yeah.
But she saw right through me.
Let me tell you the day I knew when my mother, I knew God was talking to my mother. I want to say I was 17, maybe 16. I had just the night before took a machine gun from a dude, a 50-shot Uzi. I come in the house, he on the hallway. I tell Sean, I say, look, if he knock on the door, tell him I went out the balcony. I left.
Yeah.
I went over to Darrell house, so after a while he left. I kept it. Saturday morning, I'm getting up, I'm going to go down Murphy Homes because a few dudes I know want some pills. And they scared to go down their own, so I take them down there. We get down, my mother, how I leave, my mother say, come here. She said, you doing something you don't have no business doing. She said, I don't know what it is, but God laid it on my heart. I said, Ma, you don't know what you're talking about. You know how we do.
Yeah.
I go down there, I come back, I walk in the house. She said, come here. She said, I knew you was doing something you ain't had no business doing. She said, some little boy called here and said you took a machine gun from him and that he can't go home until you get it back. She said, I went in your room to look for it. She said, but if I found it, I wouldn't know what to do with it. She said, get it out of here. I said, Mine ain't in here. I said, I ain't taking from him. I said, he wanted to sell it. I sold it for more than he wanted. He just saying that because he in trouble now. But I took it from him. So it was that day going forward that I knew it wasn't nowhere in the world my mother could have knew. See, she knew what she knew something was wrong, but she didn't know exactly what it is. But it was confirmed not even an hour later.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's powerful. And it's even more powerful that we have time now, that God allow us to have time to minister to the youth and young adults, because they live in a hopeless scenario. And there is hope. Paying attention to the signs is important. Can you imagine how different, even though it wasn't, you know, we talk about, and I'll say this because this is about y'all, not about me. We talk about God's providence and how he makes everything work together for the good. He takes our stories, we go down these paths, right? And he'll just bring us back slowly but surely and put us on that narrow path, right? And the voice of Mom, both of y'all and both of your stories in my notes, she came to you twice, and she came to you twice. It said something wasn't right? And I can only imagine, 2 things I'm thinking about. Who is talking to the youth and young adults now? Because we talked about the voices that they hear and the voices that they're not hearing. And when I think about God's providence, there has to be somebody in our lives, even one person, at one point in time in our life that says, you need to come over here, or you need you need not to do this. So with all that being said, was it anybody, rather be in prison or wherever, was it anybody else in your lives that was redirecting you when you look back on everything that took place apart from mom? Or was it only mom?
Well, for me, initially it was my mother, but I always, see, I used drugs for 29 years, man, heroin and cocaine, and was homeless, all that, man. So God, you know, he say take care of babies and fools, man. So he always blessed me with a good woman to look out for me, like even for a season. So I had a few good women that was career women. They was positive and they was always giving me stuff. Of course, at that time I was going to rebel against it, but then when I'm sitting still and not thinking, my mind clear, it come back to mind, and I started using it because it had no place in the life I was leading. But I remember everything that I was told and I was taught, and I use it today. So the main voice would be my mother's, but I can't discount those other individuals who added to, was integral in my process. I tell her, I said 3 people I had to contact, and it's mostly women.
Okay.
That was integral.
Yeah.
That's
powerful. That's powerful. Well, we're going to go to a break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out.
Exactly.
Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature, and I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do, and I think that that's a big problem that people face now. Like, you see what somebody else is doing and you want to do that when that's not your lane.
That's not your lane.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
But it's popular, it's getting that person money, it's getting that person applause. Oh, I want applause. I want money. Let me stand over here behind them.
And then a lot of times people aren't honest with themselves either. Like, I was thinking earlier today, I've been woke for almost 2 days, so so you get honesty, and I was thinking, like,
The Artist Exchange Radio Show.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin' Street? Girlin' Street!
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Now listen to BeExposedRadio.com. Check out this fire flashback.
We need to relearn what it is to be these bosses and how we conduct ourselves as business.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back, good people. So when we went to break, or before we went to break, I was asking brother Greg to tell me about the first time his dad reconnected with him when he got locked up. So talk to us a little bit about that.
That man, and I mean that in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
He came to see me. I had 2 visits. I was locked up. I had 2 visits that day. Now, mind you, he always told me, boy, you keep doing what you're doing, this was gonna happen. And I kept, all right, whatever. So I'm locked up. I had 2 visits this day. They called me for a 3rd visit. I didn't know you could get a 3rd visit. I go down there, I see all these people come out Towson. So I see everybody sitting down in front of their people, but I'm looking for who to come see me because I don't have the slightest idea. He pops up. I smiled when I seen him. He say, I don't know what you smiling for. He said, because you looking for sympathy. I ain't got sympathy for a rock. He said, oh, and don't sit down and get comfortable either. He said, because it's bad enough I let these people tell me what time I can come see you. He said, before I let them tell me what time I gotta go, I'll pick this chair up and throw it through that glass and be in there with you. He said, matter of fact, your time's up. It was a half an hour visit. That man ain't stay 5 minutes. But he got his point across, and the point was I was on my own. Like he told me what was gonna happen if I did what I did, and that was the consequences of not listening.
Wow. And what did that do for you in the moment?
It strengthened me, man. Because I know my father.
Yeah.
I know him. Like, he wasn't trying to hurt me. He was trying to prepare me.
Yeah.
He was preparing me for what was about to happen to me, what I was about to go through. So I went back upstairs, and I remember calling my brother and said, look, Shorty, I'm going to prison, man. He was like, no, you're not. No, I said, Shorty, I'm going to prison, man. He said, no, you're going to come. I said, Shorty, I'm going to prison, man.
Wow. Wow. So I was also asking, at what point did your pop reach out to you when you were in prison?
Well, Pops used to come see me with Moms a lot when she would come. But little did I know, he used to always keep tabs on me through his friends in there. I didn't even know who was his friends at the time, but they used to just watch me. I think the time that we reconnected was I went on lockup. I was in cell G123. So I said, you know what, let me sit down and write this, man, because, you know, I was hard and I was still angry for whatever reason. Yeah. And so I sat down and wrote him, and then this is the fastest he ever wrote me back.
Yeah.
I think it was like 3-4 days. When I looked up, I could see that the paper was wet. I could see it was like tears on the paper. Wow. But then as I read the letter, the reason it was like that was because 20-something years ago, my father was in that exact same cell, G123.
Wow.
So when he got the letter and he seen the cell and he seen the area, he was like, hold up. Generational curse.
Wow.
So that's when he wrote me back, and we really sat down and started connecting then. And it was like, we can't keep doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now that was profound for me because I'm just writing you to say what's up. Now you telling me you slept in the same cell and on lockup at the same time?
Wow, man. So you use the term generational curses. I'm gonna add to that. What can we do now, or what could, if somebody is listening now, they father a young man that's in and out of prison because they walked that path themselves, what can they do now to stop the generational curses? What can they do that would be instrumental?
I would say change your thinking.
Okay.
Right? Stop hanging around people that's going to condone the bull crap and get around somebody that's going somewhere. See, following ain't always a negative thing, because I'm following today. I follow people to a bag of weed, to a bag of crack, to a bag of dope, to a stick up, to prison, and now I'm following somebody that's going somewhere positive. So following ain't always a bad thing. It's who you follow.
Yeah.
Right? And so if they get themselves around somebody that's thinking different and better, then they'll change their thinking and they'll understand that where they was at wasn't where they was supposed to be, and they will stop handing down the negativity. See, they doing what they think is right because that's all they know. But if they start to be around somebody that should give them a different perspective, and life is about perspectives. If you get a different perspective, if you only have tunnel vision and think one way, then you think you're right. That's why you debate with somebody that's telling you something different, because you wasn't never taught that way. That's foreign to you. I don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, but if you get around somebody you trust that show you they care about you, because see, these people out here, man, like, I don't care if I never met you before, I know you.
Yeah.
I know them young kids because they ain't nobody but who I used to be. Yeah. So when I look at them, I'm looking at me. So I basically know where they going. There's two places they gonna go.
Yes, sir.
If they don't change their life. And it's always the saying, change I must or die I will. If I didn't change, I would be dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think for me, the power of love. The reason I say that is because, first of all, you have to learn how to love yourself.
Yes, sir.
And I'm saying that because I was so upset, angry, and frustrated about being away during the time. My daughter saved me. I'm gonna keep it real with you.
Wow, man.
Because when I had her, she made me realize what real love was. We say we love these dudes in the street, we willing to do whatever. But we ain't man enough to be fathers. We ain't man enough to say, you know what, I love you more to make the right decision for myself and you to make sure you get on the right path. Yeah. So when I had her, she woke me up. And it was like, all right, I can't make the choices I used to make. Yeah. Because it ain't about me no more. Yeah. It's about her. And I also think within that parenting situation, you need to be transparent. I tell my kids everything I've ever done. Why? To let them know how many mistakes I done made so that you don't make them. Yeah. I tell you, and you know the consequences that I had to deal with. Yeah. So you know the pain I had to deal with. Yeah. So that's why you keep that open dialogue where they feel like they can come to you. They can sit down. And that's the best way, because guess what? They might be going through something. If you shut that door, you'll never know.
Yeah.
Also, even though he ain't birthed her, he had the maternal instinct. A lot of guys don't have that, and they don't understand that what's going on today didn't start 20 years ago, didn't start 30 years ago, it started hundreds of years ago. Yeah. Like, we was bred to be like this. Yeah. Right? We was bred to be fearful, insecure, angry. We was taught not to use our minds, just to use our bodies. Yeah. Right? And one of the reasons why people don't understand where they at now is they don't understand where they came from. Right? I used to be like, I used to understand where we came from got to do with where we at. Yeah. But the more I read, the more I understand why we like we are today. Right? And so it's education. Yeah. That's the thing. And man, in the way in the world, sometimes I honestly tell you, man, since I start thinking different, sometimes I want to have a kid today so I could be a real man and a real father to him. Wow. I do, because I got it now. Yeah. And but instead of me doing that, I would rather teach it. Yeah. Right? Yeah. See, I remember having a baby. My first son, I had him because my man had a son. I know females that had babies because they wanted somebody to love them like they loved.
Goodness gracious, wow.
And so therefore, you're not even prepared to be a mother. You're just prepared to be loved. Yeah. And we're not prepared to be fathers, because any father that really loved their kid ain't gonna teach them a bunch of bull crap. But the problem is, they don't know it's bull crap. See, they don't know it's misinformed. Who wants to go 40 and 50 years being told a certain way just to find out one day you've been lied to?
Wow. That's powerful. That's powerful.
And I seen you with your son in here, man. And I remember a quote from Frederick Douglass came to my mind, man, when you was checking his homework. I say, wow. Yeah. It is easy to raise strong boys and to fix broken men.
Wow, man. Praise God, man. Praise God. We're going to go to a break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Man, I appreciate that.
Man, you could have seen how that boy looked at the side of your face, man.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You want to start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, do it.
The Orioles.
Right.
They got swept by the Royals. They lost 4 in a row, and the last 5 games have all been decided by 1 run. The game before, or the last game that they lost before the Royals was the Nationals, and it was Weeders, of course, one with a home run.
Hit the home run.
Right.
They were going into that National series. It seemed like they were doing so well, and they just crapped out. They got that game postponed, so who knows when they're going to replay that or play that game. That's my first not for the night.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and weigh in on my who's not, and I'm going to talk about the San Diego Padres.
The Padres. That's okay. You
Padres
just took my answer.
They're in last place in the NL West. They've lost 8 of their last 10.
Their run differential is a negative 65, which is just horrible. So when you have, well, let me just talk about run differential a little bit. It's kind of like the
how much you're winning or losing your games by, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. It's like the margin of victory, kind of.
Right.
So when you're in a negative number, that means that you're.
Then your average game you're losing
by a whole lot.
Right.
I mean, a number like negative 65, this early in the season is pretty rough.
That's horrible.
Then the pitching numbers pretty much support this stat right here. I mean, the team ERA is 4.70, which is 26th in the league. They have 126 walks allowed. They acquired Jared Weaver in the offseason, and he really has not panned out. He's off to one of the worst starts in any of the pitchers in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
He's 0-4 with a 6.05 ERA. In May alone, he already has 12 earned runs in May. And, another one of their pitchers, Clayton Richard, he's 2-4 with a 4.34 ERA. And, in May, he has 6 earned runs and 12 innings pitched. So they're not pitching well. And on top of that, they're also...
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back, good people. Look, like I said last time, we're going to pick up right where we left off. So, I want to get back to something you said, Sean, real quick, and then we go back to Greg. Speak to the young parent who wants to be transparent with their kids, but somewhere along the line, they're compromising. And when I say that, what I mean is, instead of being a parent, now they're the friend, and the lines are blurred. So now the kid doesn't respect them as the parent. They look at them like a brother or sister or a friend. How, if the question from the viewers would be, how can I be transparent and still be mommy and daddy? How would you respond to that?
The rules of that foundation when you engage with the kids is, once you put your laws, your rules down, you hold them accountable.
Yeah.
You do not give in just because you want to be their friend. In no way, shape, or form. It's rules in my house. We're going to follow those rules, and just because we have open conversation, I'm not going to cave into your demands, because you don't run this. Yeah. I'm the head of the household. I run this. I'm doing what's best for you. You might not like it. As a child, I didn't understand all the lessons my father was giving me until I got older. Yeah. He was already planting that seed. Just because I didn't understand didn't mean that seed wasn't going to grow.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So with that being said, I make the decisions. I'm going to guide you the right way.
Yeah.
So no, you can't compromise being a friend, because then that's when your rules go out the door and they feel as though they can do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
I always had a saying that I tell my kids this all the time, that I'm here to save your life. I ain't here to be your friend.
That's powerful.
And what that means is, God forbid, whenever I'm gone, if I'm sitting up beside God and we looking down and y'all go through turmoil, emotions, y'all fall down, I don't want to have to turn to God and say, grab them, please help them, they ain't gonna get up. Nah, I want to say, I laid the foundation for God, they'll get up.
Yeah, that's powerful.
My mother, man, when I think about that question, man, my mother, the thing I hated about my mother so much back in the day is the thing I love about her so much now. Because she would, man, she put me out.
Yeah.
I couldn't take a shower, eat, and get out. People some number 2, some shelters. If I wasn't living right, see, because nothing came before God in my mother's house, and I wasn't, me, her child, whoever, wasn't going to stop her from getting closer to God.
Yeah.
So that's what came first. So she laid that foundation. I remember one time I was locked up and I caught 10 years. I called my mother. I asked the police. I came from court. I said, can I call my mother? I said, yeah. So I get on the phone. I say, Ma, I got 10 years. She say, baby, don't take this wrong what I'm going to say. I'm like, what? She was like, I'm glad you went. I'm like, what? I got 10 years. She said, baby, listen. She said, when my phone ring late at night from now on, I ain't got to pray to God before I answer it. and prayed it ain't the morgue, asked me to come identify your body. She said, if I die today or tomorrow, I would have to ask one of my sisters to take care of you. She said, I'm trying to buy a house right now so I can make sure you got somewhere to live when I die. She said, if you could just get your life together before I died, I could die happy. At that time, I knew she wasn't asking for much. I just had the slightest idea how to give it to her.
Wow.
But Mommy never backed me when I was wrong. Always, I used to be like, my homeboys' mothers, they still live with their mothers, they do this, my mother wasn't going for that. And had she, I'd still be out there. If my mother would have did that, I would have still been out there because I'd have took cold advantage of it.
Yeah.
But she made me who I am today.
Yeah.
Like, I'm good with money. I know how to take care of myself. She, you know, she prayed for me. She covered me. She never gave up. Ma, I got a bail. Can you get me out? I ain't got no bail money, but I got a Bible. Yeah. Good. I'm like, how a Bible gonna get me out? See, a Bible couldn't get me out that day, but it eventually got me out.
Yeah. That's powerful, man. And it's funny because I was just having a conversation with another brother about, in fact, I called in, another buddy of mine has a show on Friday nights on Be Exposed Radio. We were talking about oppression. And I was saying that in order to be free from the oppression of the world, you got to first be in a place where you're free of oppression in your spirit. And the only way to do that is through the Word of God, the truth. So Mommy saying, I got a Bible for you, is powerful.
I'm gonna tell you, it's still, I'm gonna tell you, man, that time I went to prison, I grabbed a Bible. I grabbed a Bible, I read, I pray to God, tell him I'm gonna do that and the other. He knew I wasn't gonna do it, right? Yeah. But I was still gaining knowledge.
Yeah.
Right? So I get out, pat the call for name to get out, pack my stuff, need a Bible. Somebody need a Bible, I leave it.
Yeah.
Go home, forget everything, go back to what I was doing, I come right back, get a Bible again, do the same thing again, they get me out. I go home, leave the Bible, everybody need a Bible. Doing the same thing again. I say, but without they actually thinking about it, I was actually saying, thank you God for bringing me this far, I don't need you now, I got it from here.
Yeah.
But the truth was I didn't.
Yeah.
So sometimes he kept bringing me back to where he could get my attention at. Yeah. See, he could have let me die out there.
Yes, sir.
But he brought me back to where he could get my attention at. And that last time I said, you know what? I'm going to take this Bible. I still got it, a little raggedy Bible.
Yeah.
I brought it with me because a friend of mine had everything highlighted. And I liked it because of that. And I still got it to this day. Right. So, but I still didn't surrender.
Yeah.
Right? I told you I've been shot 14 times, stabbed 20 times with an ice pick, throat cut from here to here with a straight razor. None of that didn't change me because the body thing, I thought I was strong if I made it through it. But when God touched my spirit, when I wasn't so happy-go-lucky, couldn't get out the bed, wake up mad every morning, couldn't function, yeah, that's when I changed my life, man. That's when I changed. When he messed with my spirit, it ain't nothing more peaceful, more better than having your spirit intact. And that's how I want to live for the rest of my life, with my spirit intact and at peace. And I do anything to maintain it.
Wow, that's powerful, man. So tell me about, because you were mentioning during the break where y'all were in conflict. And you were saying that, well, you was sharing with me that Sean was telling you everything that I guess he was preaching to you, he wasn't doing himself.
See, when I finally, got my head together and I realized I should be doing something different, that's when I started making changes and making different decisions, hanging around different people, setting myself up for success. And he would come around and be like, come on, let's do this, this, and that. And I'm like, nah. I would really alienate him, which I'm gonna be honest. At that point, I was wrong because I didn't deal with him the way I should have. I was angry with him like I was with my father.
There you go.
Because now I'm saying, you taught me loyalty, trust, honor, respect. I'm running it down, and I'm like, you ain't doing what you taught me.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, I ain't trying to hit it. Look, this is what I need you to do. And I'm like, nah, we not doing that.
Yeah.
And he used to get so mad with me when we used to clash. But at the same time, I had to stay true to what he taught me.
Yeah. Yeah. And how did you receive that then?
Well,
Yeah.
I ain't receive him well at all. Because that was my little brother. He supposed to do what I told him to do.
Yeah.
Right? But he was growing to a man. See, I was still a man in the street. He was a man in the world, but I still think I'm supposed to reign over top of him.
Yeah.
So when I would get mad at him, I knew I couldn't hit him. We ain't never fought. My mother wasn't going for that. Like, I don't want to hear what she had to say if she found out we fought. Like, we had words, but we never put our hands on each other.
Good.
And so I would try to beat his friends up. Like, I would beat his friends up if he didn't do what I wanted him to do.
Yeah.
He'd be like, why you messing with me? Because I couldn't hit him.
Yeah.
And that was my only outlet. I thought at that time in my life, I thought the only way I could deal with my problems was to beat him up.
Yeah.
But the older I got, I realized that I couldn't, and it was real frustrating. So that's when I turned to drugs real heavy. That's how I dealt with it after that. But then that even got out of hand, and that didn't even work no more. So, which was a good thing, because at some point in time, I prayed so much for God to take the desire for me to use drugs away that I was using every day and wasn't feeling it. And I was getting more and more frustrated because I wasn't feeling it, and the frustration breeded depression.
Yeah.
You know, so I had to get my life together, but he wasn't going for it. I thank God, like, I thank God that he stuck to the values that my mother told him. Same way she wasn't going for it, he wasn't going for it. Cause see, I had a little sister, and I hope she listening. I hope she can see it. Danielle, she was my baby sister, but she was like my mother. She took care of me. She knew what my problem was. She fed it. She did whatever she had to do to make sure her big brother was okay. Right? And then one day she got this guy, man, and I hated her for it. I hated him and her.
Okay.
But that was one of the best things. He told her to cut me off. But I hated him for it. But I love him for it now. Because had he not told her to cut me off, she probably would still be doing it today. And I'd still be where I was at.
Yeah. And I was telling Greg on the phone, I remember vividly, and I was 15 at the time, and I was walking up the hill.
Yeah, I heard of that.
And I was always happy to see this guy. Always happy to see him. And I looked forward to it. When I left my house and I walked up the hill, I said, yeah, I hope Greg up the hill. And when I saw him, it was something different about him, right? And I looked at it, and Darrell was sitting next to him, and they was nodding out. And I just sat there, and my mouth open like these dudes were my heroes. You know what I mean? So for me, it freaked me out. I stood at a distance for a while, and I just remember the whole world just stood still. And it was like, man, look at these guys. Are these the guys you really want to be like? And I'm looking. I even tried to, I said, nah. And I walked up to him. I said, what's up, Greg? What's up, Darrell? And they could barely speak to me. I turned around, man. It was the longest walk home ever in my life. And I knew at that time, I can't do drugs. You know what I mean? That was just the eye opener for me. I can't do it. You know what I mean? So I vividly remember that. And I think all of us have to have those moments. For you, it may have been, I can't do this no more, whenever you got to that point. But everybody has to get to that point where, as somebody said, you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. And
I'm glad that our negativity impacted you positively, for one. But you were at that point. You were at the point back then that I'm at the point now. That we don't have to experience something to learn from it. So you was able to learn from our lessons. That's how I am today. I'm able to focus on and learn from other people's lessons. I don't have to go through that stuff. I'm not that person no more. They used to say, oh, they just ain't know what they was doing. I'm gonna do the same thing they did, but I'm gonna get better results. And every time I still getting the same results, I still think I can still do it, and this time it's gonna turn out different. So I'm glad that, because some people, unlike you, was like, what y'all had? Let me try that. You know what I mean? So by the grace of God that you didn't. And that you sitting here today, because I say, oh, God got a plan, man. So you didn't take that route. It wasn't attractive to you. You didn't take that route, and because you needed to be right here today. So me and him could be right here today. See, the offer is already written.
Already written, bro. Already written. So did you, what was your, I also talked to a buddy of mine before, and I said to him, my buddy Wop, and I said, I noticed, you know, anytime I went down Lawns and Division, you never seemed like you got high. You didn't smoke, you didn't drink. I said, well, what was your motivation? He said, man, my parents was dope fiends. He said, so for me, I knew that me and my younger brother, we couldn't indulge at all. No drinking, no smoking, none of that. And even though they was involved in the game, they weren't people who used. So in your case, did you ever get high? Did you ever explore?
No, never.
So what was your motivation?
I was the kid that used to sit back and watch everything.
Okay.
And they would joke me and laugh. Look at Sean, he's so serious. What you think about over there? Because I'm watching, I'm seeing how they move, and I'm like, I don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm thinking, Pops always told us, know your surroundings. So like you said, they sitting out there, they going through what they going through. They don't know what's going on around them.
Yeah.
And I ain't never want to be like that.
Yeah.
So if you gave it to me, I sold it. That wasn't the right thing.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that wasn't, never thought about it, never had the desire in no way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So look, let's get back to what you said before about the telling your sons not to cry, right?
Yeah, please.
So I was taught not to cry. I was a little kid. I told you I could fight. I was about 11. So a few of my homeboys was playing basketball on the basketball court against another neighborhood. So when I walked past, one of my big homeboys was like, "What's up, little girl?" I'm like, "What's up?" So he was like, "See Shorty right there? Shorty can fight." And take him and teach him what he need to know. He be beating all the little kids I ran. So the other guy was like, "We got a little nigga from our neighborhood. I bet he can't beat." They was like, "Go get him. We gonna bet some money." They was like, "Little Greg, come here." Like, we ready to bet some money. I was like, "How much money y'all gonna give me?" They gave me 50 cents. That was a lot of money back in '80. So me and the little boy, he just like me, hurting. Don't understand that you hurting.
Yeah.
So two dudes that we look up to told us to fight, and that's what we did. Because I'm emotional. I'm crying. I'm beating the dude up, and I'm crying. So the dude that was losing money say, "Shorty, you winning? What you crying for?" And I remember saying to myself, "I don't know." After the fight, my big homeboys patted me up. "Look, you can hang with us now, but big boys don't cry. You can't be with us if you cry." So I so badly wanted to be accepted, because see, I had to be the big boy in our house.
Yeah.
Because my father wasn't always there. He didn't live with us. So I had to be the big boy, right? So if I did cry, I sat outside and cried. I wasn't going in the house to cry. But I stopped crying out. Tears didn't come out my eyes no more. But unbeknownst to myself at the time, I still was crying. I just was crying out in a different way. If you bumped into me, I'd go off. They'd be like, "What's wrong with him?" But it was everything I was holding in. If you stepped on my foot, so I still cried out. So mind you, I was little. Big dude, short dudes got ran over out there, so I was determined that wasn't gonna happen to me. So I ain't let nobody come to me and get in my way. I got in their way, and I made a reputation for myself. So now I try to make myself into somebody that people are like, because I didn't like myself, so I had to put this mask on. And eventually, I got held to a standard that I didn't even like anymore. Every time something, they be like, "Oh shucks, I know Greg, great fight," and I didn't even want to fight, but I'm looking right at their faces like I gotta fight because this is what they expect me to do. And I remember one time my father played us. You remember? We in there smoking weed. We down the projects, Murphy home, and he came in there quarter. I tried. He said, "You ain't got high." He said, "Go ahead." So he let us get high, and he said, Let me ask y'all something."
Hold that thought, because we gonna go to a break. I gotta hear this. I want y'all to close out with me as well. But stand by. We'll be right back. Yeah, I know this is gonna be good.
Check out this flashback from It Is What It Is radio show.
Paul he was chilling. He was doing his thing. Y'all, you feel me? Love y'all family. You know what I'm saying? And like, for him to be taken away from you, snatched away from you, just like that. You feel me? It's like damn. Another good one gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you taking the good? You know what I'm saying?
You always end up asking like, why?
And like again, it's a lesson that it's a test of faith. You feel me? Gonna take you through these tests. You feel me? You're gonna go through these little phases in life, yo. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you just gotta recognize that one, it's the adversary trying to knock you off your pivot, and then it's God trying to teach you something. You feel me? Right. Anything that you go through, you gonna get through. It's called going through. You feel me? That's why it's called going through. You going through something. Right. You feel me? Because after you go through it, you get through it. You look back on it like, damn, I got that. You feel what I'm saying?
For this and more, be sure to tune into BeExposedRadio.com every Friday from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock p.m. to listen to more of It Is What It Is radio show.
Hi, Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ball in street? Girl in street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
We're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's radio loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the radio loyalty store.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back, good people. So we're going to close out, and we have about 10 minutes or so. But during the break, we were talking about men, how they're taught to, directly and indirectly, to cover up their pain. And we were meshing that whole concept with drug use. So take us back to that point.
So I said my father let us smoke the weed that day, and I kept saying something ain't right, man. Like, why he letting us do this? As soon as after we got high, he said, let me ask y'all a question, like, why y'all get high? And I remember laughing and saying, because it make me feel good. But it wasn't years later that I realized that the reason why I needed something to make me feel good about myself is because I already didn't feel good about myself. I felt bad about myself. So I used the drugs to take me outside of me, so I wouldn't have to deal with me. Because like we were saying, it's a lot of people covering up pain because we are taught that anger is the only emotion that we can show that's masculine as men.
Yeah.
So if you cry, if you feel sad or depressed, that's not masculine. So we seen as being soft. So society teaches us that the only emotion you can show is anger and get away with it. Yeah. So we can suppress all that. We use the drugs, so we don't have to deal with with the problems we going through and none of that. And the more I stay high, the less I got to deal with it.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on with a lot of youth out there today. They going through something and they told that they not supposed to feel that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as a result, they keep using and using till they zombified. I remember one night, man, I sat in the chair just like this, got high, didn't do nothing. I don't even remember getting up, going to the bathroom. The next day I got up and said, boy, I had fun, I'm gonna do that again. I ain't do nothing, but what I did do something. What I did do was not have to feel or deal with how I really felt.
Wow.
That's what I did. And so that was fun to me.
Yeah.
Because I had to deal with pain no longer.
So what it sounds like happens is we really deceive ourselves into thinking that the pain is gone. But when we sober up, it's still there.
And compounded.
Yeah.
And compounded.
That's why you go higher.
Yeah.
Because you got more problems now than the ones you was initially using over.
Not anymore. So we get to a point where we are, again, it's the whole deception. And we think that the pain is gone, so we get high. So talk to the young brother who may be listening right now that's involved in the prescription drugs, that's involved in, because I've never seen prescription drugs at a place where it is now. How can we minister to his heart right now? If he or she is listening, what would you say to him?
all we can do right now, man, is go out to them corners and make the resources available, right? Because from experience, nobody gonna stop till they get ready. As long you can say you're ready to stop today, and tomorrow come into some money, and you're no longer ready to stop now.
Yeah.
So until somebody is really ready to stop, all you gonna do is go out there and give them options, because one day they're gonna use those options. When everything, all their bridges burn, all their resources gone, nowhere to stay, no nothing, they gonna come in.
Yeah.
And then, but they have to have the resources when that time comes. Everybody's time is different.
Yeah.
But you have to make the resources available, because they will come. And what happens is when the toughest ones come. Right? When they come out and the ones that looked up to them see it, now they say, oh, this cool, he did it. Like, they ain't gonna think I'm soft if I do this.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna follow him. See, they're the ones we need to get.
Yeah.
The highest risk, the key individuals, we need them to change, because they the ones running stuff out there. So now we take them out of that realm and place a negative realm and place them in a positive one, and the negative ones follow what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about, as we close, and we have about 6 minutes or so, Safe Streets, because that's what you're doing now, right?
Yes.
And I call that a ministry. Boots on the ground. If a young brother is listening right now, speak to the ones that are involved in gangs that want to get out, but they won't necessarily tell their boys they want to get out, because what I'm hearing is that it's one way out, which again could be a part of the deception.
All right.
So what would you say to the young man or young woman who's caught up in the gangs? How could they get connected to something like Safe Streets? What would they do first? What was the first step?
Safe Streets are only in 4 communities as of right now. So I can only speak to the ones that's in those communities.
Okay.
So it's McGalley Park, Cherry Hill, Park Heights, and Santan.
Okay.
So they can come contact us. And see, people they're in a gang that's a negative gang. You always going to be with a clique or a gang or a group. See, they went from groups to cliques to gangs. Right? So even when you cross over from where you at to come over to the positive side, you're still in a group or a clique, but now it's just positive.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes,
like
sir.
I say, that's the follow somebody that's going somewhere thing. I would say to them, man, to pay attention to what's going on around you, right? Don't keep thinking when the man next to you get killed, that you come right back out there and stand on the spot before his blood's dry, thinking it won't happen to you. Don't keep thinking that you're going to do the same thing somebody else did and that it's going to end up different.
Yeah.
Like I say, the culture today is a lottery, and the results are death in prison.
Yeah.
And it's being proven every day. You just now said on your phone a 13-year-old girl that's got shot.
Yep.
Double shooting.
A double shooting.
Yeah.
We hitting 300 murders a year.
Yeah.
Why keep rolling the dice and you be one of those 300 murders this year, next year, or the year after that?
That's right. That's right.
If nothing changes, man.
Yeah. That's real. And that's a good one to close on. Well, again, I'm going to have y'all back. We got to do this again. I have more questions, and I want to hear more about your story. So I can't thank y'all enough for making yourself available.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yes, sir. We family, man, and I appreciate it. It's God's work. It's God's work.
Absolutely.
So I hope that you all heard. If you didn't hear anything else, there's hope. You heard the stories. I hope this ministers to your heart. I hope that you will be back with us again next week, 7 p.m. Again, this is a conflict resolution show. I'm Coach White, your holistic personal trainer, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Take care.
So, Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom?
I wanted to talk to you about something and... Oh, wait. Hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow. Busy me. So, anyway...
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. So many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey, guys, check out my new video game. Pew, pew. Wait, Mom, what? Huh?
What? Hold
What'd
on.
you say? Wait a second, what?
This weekend, unplug.
Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artists, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question, because the truth is going to come out. And
exactly.
Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it, because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature, and I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously, because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do, and I think that that's a big problem that people face now. Like, you see what somebody else is doing and you want to do that when that's not your lane.
That's not your lane.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
But it's popular, it's getting that person money, it's getting that person applause. Oh, I want applause. I want money. Let me stand over here behind them.
And then a lot of times people aren't honest with themselves either. Like, I was thinking earlier today, I've been woke for almost 2 days, so so you get honesty, yes. And I was thinking, like,
The Artist Exchange Radio Show.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet,